There have been many designs of Supreme Dalek throughout the history of Doctor Who. In this video we're going to take a brief tour of all the designs from classic and modern Who and note the distinctive features of each one. We will also take a brief look at some Dalek Supreme designs from the expanded media. The first Dalek Supreme design appeared in the Dalek Invasion of Earth, and this look pioneered the primary Supreme Dalek design techniques that would recur in many future Dalek Supremes. It's the basic Dalek design, but using black as a base colour. This simple change was all the visual distinction that was necessary to identify this particular Dalek as a VIP, and it was particularly effective for the black and white era. This same trick also worked for the Dalek Supreme seen in the Dalek's master plan. Like the Dalek Invasion of Earth Supreme, this Dalek is a standard Dalek with a black paint job instead of the standard silver, and it is characterised as particularly ruthless and spiteful, even compared to other Daleks. Despite what we know of Dalek Supremes in the modern era, Dalek Supremes in early classic Who often spoke with a much higher pitched voice compared to regular Daleks, and this effect is particularly good in the Dalek's master plan. The Supreme Dalek's voice is different enough to be recognisable, and is also characterised by shrill staccato fury. The next Dalek Supreme design appeared in Day of the Daleks, and also briefly showed up in Frontier in Space. This Dalek Supreme was the first to use gold to indicate a higher rank instead of black, and despite its simple design, this Supreme effectively stands out against the standard grey Daleks of this era. For Planet of the Daleks, a brand new design of Supreme Dalek was used, based off the design of the movie Daleks. This was the first Dalek Supreme to use a different design to the standard Daleks, instead of a simple colour change. This Supreme was also the first Dalek in televised Doctor Who to be shown with a flashing eye stalk that lights up in time with its dome lamps. Following Planet of the Daleks, the Supreme Dalek took a bit of a hiatus which lasted for the rest of the 70s and ended with Resurrection of the Daleks, which featured a design of Supreme Dalek that harkened back to the Dalek leaders of the 1960s. This black Dalek commands a group of grey Daleks and sports a set of white hemispheres to contrast with the black hemispheres of its soldier inferiors. A very similar Supreme Dalek also appears in Remembrance of the Daleks, this time commanding a task force of renegade Daleks. Some sources indicate that this Dalek is in fact the same Supreme Dalek from Resurrection of the Daleks, though it has a completely new casing sporting a striking glossy black paint job with silver detailing on the neck rings, slats, weapons and hemispheres. The Black Dalek design would also transition over to New Who, as the first Dalek commander we see in the new series, Dalek Sec, sports a casing with glossy and matte black. Despite never being officially named the Dalek Supreme, Sec acts as the de facto leader of the Dalek race, so we'll include him here for completeness' sake. The next time we see a Dalek Supreme is for the finale of Series 4, in which a brand new red Supreme Dalek design debuts. This design is apparently the standard Supreme casing for the Time War era, and it towers over the other Daleks, sporting a taller casing, large attachments on the casing, and a third dome lamp, which, like the others, is mounted on a large base. This imposing Supreme Dalek design is closely associated with Davros, as one appears as leader of the New Dalek Empire during the Medusa Cascade incident, and another appears on Skaro to watch over Davros and defend his infirmary. Between these two appearances of the Red Dalek Supremes, we also have the White Dalek Supreme of the New Dalek paradigm. This short-lived design actually ended up being one of the most prolific Dalek Supreme designs in Dalek history, appearing in 3 Dalek episodes and also making a brief cameo in Series 6. Like the early classic Supreme Daleks, the White Dalek Supreme appears to have the same casing design as its inferiors, but with a unique colour scheme. It is also worth mentioning the Dalek leader seen in Revolution of the Daleks, who despite not using a unique casing or officially carrying the title of Dalek Supreme, did sound a lot like a Supreme and held the position of leader of the Death Squad Daleks. There are more Dalek Supreme designs than those that appeared on TV, however. One of the first Dalek Supreme designs actually debuted in the comics. It's also worth mentioning the Dalek Supremes from the Peter Cushing movies, which took full advantage of the Technicolor to sport some truly spectacular colour schemes. There are also various leaders that hold a similar position of authority to that of a Dalek Supreme, such as the Dalek Time Controller, the Dalek Time Strategist, the Dalek Interrogator Prime, and Dalek X. What's your favourite Dalek Supreme design? Do you have a favourite individual Dalek Supreme from the history of Doctor Who? Let me know in the comments below.